Hello, everyone. This is Monsef Afker, and thank you so much for joining us in this new call of Your Divine Uniqueness. So happy to connect with you again live, and also with those of you who will be watching or listening to the replay. So yeah, thank you for your presence, for sharing with us this time, and also really happy and excited that Theresa Vee is back on the show. I think it's been a couple years when the last time she joined us, and like every time she joined us, I really like first the energy that she embodies. It's really heart-centered, and we feel the care that she holds and that she shares with everyone on the call and everyone that she works with live. And also the messages have been always very inspiring, very related to what we are experiencing at the moment. And how to say, it's like she helps us to shift our perspective, to have a deeper understanding about what's going on, and also to realize our true power and experience that in the conversations, but also in the one-on-ones when we have a Q&A. When she works with the live audience, it was very really, it was very impressive how she can like get the information, share it, and also help to through the healing process. And it's been always very, very powerful, and always happy to have her with us here on the show. So yeah, so for those of you who are new to her, she is international speaker, teacher, wellness guide, master of the healing arts, and Angelic channel. And the subject today is living in the flow, trusting the heart's wisdom, and embracing support. So yeah, so she will be sharing about that, and also how we can shift the way we live our life and the way we create our life into a more heart-centered way, instead of one that is based on maybe hard work or trying to control everything. It's more about flowing with the energy that our hearts bring forward and the guidance that we receive. And also she will help us to understand, or maybe understand how we can discern like the messages that we receive, because sometimes it can be very, very subtle. So we'll be talking about that, and also receiving supports from different benevolent beings like dragons, angels, ancestors, and other allies. So it will be very powerful. And also we'll have a Q&A as always, where you can ask her your questions. And for that, if you are on Zoom, you can press reaction or react, then raise hand. And if you are on the phone, you can press *9. And also you can type your questions on the chat boxes on Zoom and on YouTube. And yeah, so with that, Theresa, welcome back to the show. Very happy to have you with us.
So happy to be here. Thank you for asking me to be here, and I hope I can live up to your words.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, so maybe in the beginning, for those maybe who are new to you, I would love if you can give us an introduction to yourself and your work.
Hi, everyone. So blessed to be here. And I think Monsef said everything, everything I would say, but really, I'm a wellness guide who works very much with spiritual and sensitive people who feel called to be the change in the world, to really make a difference, whether that be in their world, with their loved ones, or in the world at large, because those aren't two separate things. And so it's always a joy to do that in so many ways, like whether it be through physical wellness, emotional wellness, or also through connecting with our guides and our angels. It all serves to make us stronger so that we can live more on purpose and feel more supported, because a lot of times we can end up feeling very alone or very disconnected. So I'm so blessed to be here and be connected with all of you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. And so yeah, let's start talking about how do you see the shift that we are experiencing, maybe collectively, and also it can be reflected on a personal level. How are we shifting the way we live our life and create things that we desire?
I mean, I don't think it's any secret that the entire world is shifting and we've been in a major shift. So, like, you can wake up today and live in three different worlds. By the time you go to bed, everything is changing so quickly. And the angels have been telling us for a good decade now to like prepare and they've been helping us get ready for this because we are in a heart-based paradigm. We are in a love-based paradigm. And I always have people saying to me, well, why are the things that are happening in the world happening if that's true? How can it be true? And there's all this pain and all this suffering. And the truth is that we're seeing all of the things come to the surface that are not rooted in love, that the systems that haven't been serving us or will not serve us moving forward. And they're just becoming obvious to us now. It's sort of like you can't take these things with you further into this paradigm. So, how do you want to address them? What do you want to create instead? And that's the opportunity we're having right now is to look at everything that's coming up for clearing and decide how do we want to adjust these things, or is it time to let them go and give them gratitude for the way they served in the past, or let them go because they're awful and they're not serving anyone, and then kind of step forward in a new way. What do we want to create? And the thing is to remember when we get overwhelmed that we don't have to do everything, right? We can just take a breath. And this is where our inspiration comes in. This is where our guidance comes in. We can just do one thing. If that's all the energy we have today, it can be the simplest thing. It can be just to really love on the person that we're sharing space with and be love in the world because that gets radiated outward. You know, we always have more power than we realize. So this new paradigm really is prioritizing heart over hustle, you know, really going to the heart of things instead of just working and having to exhaust ourselves. We're prioritizing intuition over fear, deep trust over having to control everything. And the guidance right now, I don't know if you've all noticed it, the guidance is coming moment to moment. Um, we we used to be in a world where we could plan 20 years into the future, and it still is important for us to plan. But then if the divine comes in, if your guidance comes in and shifts things, to be willing to go with those shifts. You know, like for example, for a show like this, I might prepare notes, but based on who shows up and where we are, I have to be willing to kind of throw those notes out the window and be where we are right now. And being in the present moment is really the way to do that. So this is important, you know, our receptivity to the direction that's coming in every moment. You know, and there are so many ways that we can do that. But that's really, if you're asking about the shift and what it is, that's really the shift. We're moving into the world that is love-based more and more. And we're creating from that place of what is it that we need now, personally and collectively, you know, and this is an opportunity. So many of us have just focused on serving others and haven't stopped to ask, what do I need now? What makes me happy? What brings me joy? How do I need to serve? And how does that need to shift? And let ourselves be in that shift, be in that change, and not have to do things the same way we've always done them.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I really love that. And my question is what would be your advice? Because through that shift, we may see sometimes it's like shifting timelines. We see the old ways, like we feel triggered by things, but also at the same time, we have choices and a new path that we can choose. So how can we maybe direct our focus more easily?
The beautiful thing is that when we are triggered by things, that's our system showing us, hey, this may be something that you're here to help change. There may be something here that you're ready to clear. And in doing so, clear it for everyone. or this may be something that you're being called to step further into. So a lot of us, when we look out in the world and we see issues, like, everybody has their things that really matter to them, like, oh, people's rights matter to me, and the environment matters to me, and like everyone has their thing that they feel really passionate about, both in their own lives and in the world. And those are the things that you're here to help address, here to create new systems and new pathways for. So I want to take those triggering moments and step us into power with them, right? There very often we feel like, oh, haven't I done the work? This is I shouldn't be feeling this way. But it's our system speaking to us and saying, hey, guess what? You're here to help this, right? And the beautiful thing is the body and the soul are always in conversation. And so much in spirituality in the past, we've sort of left the body behind, and we keep trying to get out of it, and we would try to like transcend it all the time. But our body is constantly giving us information. It's constantly telling us yes or no, and we if we wait for that full body yes, that knowingness, then we'll know which direction to take. If we're getting like 90% there and our body is 10% saying no, then we know it's not now or not at all, right? When we're listening to our body, when we're listening to the way our soul speaks to us through our body, we're guided to what we're here to do, and where our gifts, our natural innate gifts, can bring us to a place where we have the most impact. Um, so I can give you a quick example of this. It's, years ago, I was working in a bar when I was finishing high school and starting college. I was working in a bar, and I had these amazing friends, and the clients were awesome, and I loved working there. And the money was great, right? They helped me pay for all the supplies I needed for college, and all of that. It was a good situation. But there was one day I literally woke up and I had the knowingness I need to leave. Like my time there is done. And so I went to work and I said to my boss, I have to quit. I'll give you another 2 weeks, and then I have to be done. And he was like, well, you should wait till you find something else. And but my system, the divine, was speaking to me like, no, you're done. And I knew that in order to step into the next thing, I had to fully let that go. If I was still hanging on, the next thing couldn't open. And so I did. I left in 2 weeks, and right as I left, I got this amazing opportunity for some work. And for many, many years, every job that I got was related to that opportunity. And so sometimes we just have to walk in blind faith, knowing that our intuitive hits, knowing that the divine will never steer us wrong, and that it's almost like our body is not allowing us to go forward in this direction anymore. Does that answer your question, Mosef?
Yes, yes, it does. And I really love it because also many times friends, they ask me um, like about intuition and how to develop their intuition. And I tell them take more risks.
Mm-hmm.
And because when we listen to those nudges, it feels like in the beginning that it's risk because we are like leaving our comfort zone, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not really comfortable. But like you said, I love the example that you gave, that the path shows up as we walk it. Um, so yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, and
Um,
also like if you're new to really, or if you're deepening into your intuition, it doesn't have to be something super huge. It can just be
yes.
something as simple as you feel like you should send a text to somebody and you follow that intuitive hit, right? These can be smaller things. It doesn't have to be on such a big scale if that's not comfortable to you. And that's kind of how we work the muscle and build our muscle, as if we're going to the gym, build our muscle of trusting our intuition. When we see that we followed the intuitive hit and something came out of it that was amazing, and someone felt loved up and we felt better, then that's just building muscle of us trusting the intuition. So I love your advice.
Thank you. And yeah, I had a question. I forgot it.
I'm sorry.
Uh, so yeah. Also, when we ask for guidance or questions, um, like you said, when we feel 100% in our body, that it is a yes. But also sometimes it can be like the yes or no.
Mhm.
can be coming from fear or limiting beliefs that we are unconscious of, we don't know about. And sometimes we can confuse between the two. So what would be your advice so we can discern the difference between like what is actually a guidance and what is not?
That is always a great question. And so I get this question a lot, especially with people who spend a lot of time in spirituality, right? With like how do I know that the messages I'm getting from my guides are are real messages and not just my brain? And it's sort of the same as this when we're talking about our body. So it will always feel when the messages are coming from a place of goodness and your highest good, even if you're uncomfortable because it's asking you the message or the intuitive hit is asking you to go out of your comfort zone, there's a sense of peace underneath that. There's a sense of knowingness that this is for your highest good, right? So it's like I'm a little stressed out because I don't know how it's going to happen. It's out of my comfort zone, but I feel good about making this decision or taking this action. Like underneath that, it feels good. It's the same sort of thing with our guidance that comes from like the angels or our guides. It's if it's coming truly from your guides or your angels, there will be a sense of peace and calm underneath the message. If it's coming from your fear or your anxiety, it'll feel like chaos internally. It'll feel like, when you have those thoughts that just keep like ping-ponging around your head, it will feel like that. Um, and if it's coming from your body or your guides, you'll also keep getting the message, but not in a frantic way. You'll get the message, and if you miss it or you ignore it, it will come back again, but in a very relaxed way. Unless there's something that, there's an action you have to take that will result in immediate danger if you don't take it, then the message will come, but it will come loud and it will come clear. So that's really the difference to me is the feeling of peace and calm underneath that. It doesn't feel like stress and it doesn't feel like constriction. It feels like openness. Like I'm a little stressed about leaving this job based on intuitive guidance. I might not have an income, right? So that can feel constrictive, but it didn't. It felt freeing. It felt opening. Like I felt this peace and this openness as a result of knowing that this was an action I had to take. The other thing that I love that we get like pulled towards something. So for example, the other day I was shopping for flowers and to plant in the yard. And I heard this plant like over there and I got pulled towards it. And I picked it up and I looked at it and it was bacopa, which is an herb that we use in Ayurveda for memory and brain fog. And I have a lot of situations in my life right now where people could use the tinctures that I'll be making from this plant. But the plant called me, my guidance in my body felt it. And so it can be that simple, right? And it's just the knowingness that feels good and calm. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does, absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, so it's like we are like with experience, we are being trained to get used to the subtleness of the guidance by lowering the chaos that we
Mhm.
experience. So it's yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
And
Um,
the one of my favorite challenges that I issue to people is like, you're going to probably go grocery shopping or to a farmer's market or something in the next week, right? So walk around and look at all of the food and see where you're being drawn. Like see what visually draws you, what makes your mouth water, what you can't wait to eat, right? And that's a very simple way to start following your body's guidance and to follow the guidance of nature. So it's a really fun thing to do and to kind of build that muscle in doing something that you're probably going to be doing anyway.
yeah, yeah, and personally, I experienced that a few years ago. I was sick, and I just felt like my body needed some kind of food, and I felt better with time after that. And then I did some research, and I found exactly that kind of food helps with that kind of sickness. But yeah, it's really powerful, like the messages that we can receive when we listen to our
Mhm.
body. Um,
Exactly.
yeah,
The body will never steer you wrong.
yeah, absolutely. And so, would you like to share something more about the subject before we move to the questions from the audience?
Yeah, I also want to say, because I know many of us here are very interested in the other realms that maybe most people can't see that are there to assist us, and where are they now, and how do we work with them now? And you know the beautiful thing about this now moment is that so many realms of beings that really avoided us as humans, or that we couldn't connect with because the energy was so much more dense here on earth, are like their help is available to us now. And not only that, they're willing to work with us where they wouldn't have been willing 10 or 20 years ago, because the energy of the planet was so much more dense. The light quotient was so much less. And so the beautiful thing is now, especially when we're feeling isolated, or we're feeling alone, or we're feeling like, I'm just one person, what can I do? Or, even overwhelmed, we can call on them for assistance, and they're willing to assist us. And so beings like the angels have always, they've for a very long time been highly accessible to us, but the unicorns are willing to work with us now, and we have access to the dragons, and the fairies are even becoming more willing to work with us and to be present with us. And so, like, when we see the help and the support that's there in the other realms, as well as amongst other humans, a lot of sensitive spiritual people sort of avoid being with a lot of other humans, right? Because you feel everyone's everything. But there is a way now, we're being called into community now. There is a way, like we were just talking about this before the call, right? Living in community space with people who are like-minded, with people who understand you and how you operate, and you may have different perspectives on the world, but that's what makes this experience beautiful. Is when we hear all the perspectives, we can come up with a solution that encompasses all of the perspectives. And so really utilizing those connections now is the key to us moving forward. Sitting alone on our meditation cushion is great at times, and it was the way in the past. And now, like, that kind of paradigm has shifted, and now the best work we can do is in connection, and in that connection then coming back to ourselves, and then doing the personal work and going back out into connection. So that's one of the keys that we're experiencing, the key differences in this paradigm as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Um, I love it, and also maybe because you mentioned the fairies, and
Mhm.
also they are available for us to help us through our path. And also I experienced that, like when I feel some kind of confusion, I just see something happening. Because recently I've been in like close to nature, and
Mhm.
it just it's a message that reminds me about like where I need to focus, and that um it's like sometimes it's more like comforting and supportive and loving energy.
Exactly.
So yeah, yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, the fairy, I love the fairy realm because up until very recently, they've been very judgmental of humanity. Like, they will not work with humans or be near humans who do not care about the planet. They only want to be around human beings who care about the planet and respect nature. And so they've been becoming more open to being around us. But there are realms of fairies that are just like, ugh, like they don't want to deal with us. But slowly that's changing, and it's really beautiful to see, because it almost feels like that collaboration is going to give us so much information in terms of how we need to move forward in caring for the planet and in caring for ourselves as beings that are not separate from the planet, right? What happens to her happens to us. And we're seeing that, as things happen to her and she experiences chaos and climate changes and all of that. Those same things are happening in us. We're getting sicker as humans as she gets sicker. When she gets better, we get better. And so it's a really beautiful symbiosis that it's time for us to really rely on our fairies to help us create.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And we see that humanity is awakening to that, to the importance of that relationship, and
Absolutely.
yeah, caring about Mother Earth. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Can we take questions from the
Sure.
audience? So again, everyone, if you are on the phone, you can raise your hand by pressing *9. If you are on Zoom, you can press react, then raise hand. And also you can type your questions on the chat boxes on Zoom and on YouTube. We have Sue on the phone. Can you please unmute yourself?
Hi, Monisette. Hi,
Hi, Sue.
Theresa.
Hi.
Nice to you, Theresa. Okay, I have a question. I'm hoping I can get guidance, at least from the angels, on it. My right knee right now has like what they call a Baker's cyst, and it's been causing a lot of pain, difficulty walking, and everything else. And all of a sudden, it's like I started exercising to help my body. And now my body kind of said, like, hey, guess what? We're going to rebel. But I think I was walking like on this turf, and I think I overstrained it or whatever. I've been trying different modalities for it, but I sort of need some guidance on how to work through this pain.
I'm so sorry you're in pain. And
Oh,
and after you're trying to do something so good for yourself.
that's what I
So
mean. It's what's up with that?
yeah. Well, kudos to you for taking those actions. Okay. So let's celebrate you for that too, because changing and doing things like that, it's not easy. There's a couple of things that are coming forward energetically. I do want to just say again, like when we talk about medical situations, like the spiritual advice we give here is never a substitute for really following up with our medical providers. So I
Oh, I
also
will
want
be
to
doing
say that too. Yeah. I know you will.
that.
The the energetic of the right knee is the right side is the masculine
No, left.
energy, for lack of
I'm
better
sorry, it's the left.
terminology. Oh, it's the left? I thought you said right. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, they're going to start the right one. I don't know, but no, it's the left one.
No. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the left is then the feminine side of the body. And these are just terms we use for lack of more inclusive terminology. So the feminine energy is traditionally the energy of love and support, right? So like what we're seeing now is we're in a heart-based paradigm. And in our personal systems, as well as in the world, everything that is not heart-based, that is not able to come with us into that, is coming up for clearing. And so this paradigm of heart-based is a more feminine flow, right? We talk about moving into flow, and that tends to be more on the feminine energy, whereas the pushing and the hard work is more the masculine way of doing things. And both of these are valid, and both of these have their application and are important at various times. So what we're seeing is our body, as soon as we start moving energy in our body's saying, "Hey, guess what? Here's this thing that you can't bring with you, and let's clear it. Let's clear it out." So it's almost like your body put into this nice little package energy that you can't bring with you, that is ready to go. And because you were moving your system, you're moving your lymph, you're getting energy flowing, your body was able to say, "Hey, Sue, can we deal with this?" The beauty of it is that are you a Reiki practitioner?
I I did it up to the second class
Okay,
of Reiki.
great. So you're at level 2. Because what
Mhm.
I do see is I see energy coming through your own hands. Like I see you sitting and having your energy come through your hands to your knee. And in doing that, it's almost like asking the question. So a lot of times when our body rebels, like what you're saying, we're in a fight with our body. Like, why are you doing this? I was trying to do something so nice for you.
Mhm.
When you're giving energy, when you're doing the Reiki with your knee, saying, "Okay, cyst. Okay, knee. What is it that you're trying to tell me?"
See,
And let
that's what
yourself,
I'm trying to figure
yeah.
out, and I don't really get a message.
Mhm. That's okay. It's okay. Just stay with it, love it, change the conversation. Like, thank you for processing this. Thank you for bringing it up. And and it just feels like because of the knee, there's like a part of you that's resisting moving forward. So maybe there's a part of you in your life where you're holding on to some anger, some resentment, some unforgiveness kind of energy, or something I just can't move past that. And it feels like it could be from like your early 20s. So it's just a thought, like maybe feel into that as well. But it definitely feels like this is something that's just coming up that can be taken care of, that you enabled this energy to release from your body. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was letting go of a lot of stuff or whatever, and I was even joking with the angels and said, "Oh, sure. Now that I'm not worried about my eyesight, now you give me a knee to worry about." I was like joking, like, really? I
Oh.
said, really? What, you want me to concentrate on that now?
No,
uh,
it does feel like it resolves relatively quickly as compared to our timeline. And also, that this is an invitation too to be where you are. Like as our life situation changes, our bandwidth to do certain things changes. And so we expect ourselves sometimes to function in the ways like, oh, I want to go for all these walks and I really was enjoying that. Yeah, okay, oh yes. And at the moment, that's not where you are. So how can you adjust to be present with this version of you now? And this is just like a more meta idea of like this micro kind of situation that's happening in your life right now. But I feel like there's a significant change with this, however that comes about within 1 month. So definitely, yeah, it definitely feels like there's some sort of resolution within a month.
yeah, because I have the appointment June 2nd. And it's funny, like, with me anyway, when I know when something's right, spirit will let it flow. If they don't want me to do something, they'll put every obstacle in my path. So they really want me to see, I guess, this one specialist because they just let it flow. It just like happened real easy.
Perfect.
So it's
And
interesting.
my dear, that's a testament also to all the work you've done before to clear. So when you were able to get the intuitive hits, when you're able to be led, like things do flow. And not everybody has that ability. So that's also just like really celebrate yourself for being in the space where you are receptive to that and you're able to be receptive to that because there are so many people who are trying to get to that point. So I want to celebrate you because I just feel like you're in a
Oh,
really good place, even though you're having some pain right now. Really focus on giving yourself some love and energy and then see what your specialist says. And I feel like those two things together form a nice little package of this resolution.
yeah, that's why I was just wondering if I was doing the right thing. I felt I was because I was actually rubbing it last night with my hands, and I thought, oh yeah, I've been doing that. And but people along the way, with their energy and stuff, has helped me also. And
Mm.
that's why I always love Monisset, the people he has on, because they've always given me great healing.
Beautiful.
So I want to celebrate you for that also. For
Oh,
helping
sending you
like a
so many
twin
hugs.
help. And you have beautiful energy also, and I wish you blessings and great health in your endeavors.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll send you some. Let's send Archangel Raphael to just spread his wings and surround you with his healing and his support. And so it feels like Raphael is holding the energy for you, but I do feel Archangel Ariel actually working with the knee, the Archangel of love, the Archangel of grace, the of fierce compassion and love. So it definitely feels like there's something there in that realm for you to release, um, in terms of fierce love, compassion, and moving forward. So just leave you with that, but know that when you're resting, they'll be with you and they'll be surrounding you, and you can call on them at any moment for anything.
Thank you very much. I much appreciate that. Thank you
Oh,
for everything.
thank you.
Thank you, Monisset, and blessings to you also. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sue. Much love. And
Much
thank you
love
very much.
to you too, and have a great day.
You too.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you very much, Theresa, for the
Thank you.
guidance. And we have Maria on YouTube. Hello, and thank you both for sharing your gifts. I am learning to quiet the mind. Any recommendations on connecting with our guides?
Beautiful. So there's so much I want to say about this, but like what I love about learning to quiet the mind is our mind is designed to think, right? Like that's what it's designed to do. So when we try to quiet it down, what happens? What happens when you tell a 2-year-old to quiet itself, right? It just gets louder. So that's what the mind does. So what we what is really good for us is to give the mind one thing to do. So whether it be a mantra or gazing at a candle or like contemplating a scripture that you love, whatever it is, the mind needs a job when we're trying to clear it, because then all of our energy goes into that one point of focus, single pointed focus, and everything else can fall away. So that felt really important for some reason to share it with you because I do feel your success and you're moving through this. When connecting with guides, I always recommend, I don't know if you're familiar, I don't know like what your background is. If you're familiar with Archangel Michael is the protector archangel. And so when people are just starting, especially calling on their guides, I always recommend calling on Archangel Michael first, asking Michael to surround us and to bring his legion of light to surround the area for protection for us and for our guides, right? And then I always bring the guides through from that place. And that's not fear-based. It's just for the clearest path to communication without us. It also prevents us from having to wonder, oh, are these really my guides? Or these randoms that like, whatever the situation is, it really makes that connection much easier. So that's what I would recommend. And also like, 30 years from now, as you're doing this, you might still want to do this process. There's, we're going to talk about some of the things that we're offering through the show, but there are a lot of processes to connecting with the various forms of guides in terms of like all the different realms that are in the package. So like if there's specific meditations you want, those are in there too. But really just getting quiet, being in a space surrounded by peace, and asking Archangel Michael to help you usher in your guides or usher in the other realms. That's what I would recommend.
Yeah, thank you very much,
Great
Theresa.
question.
And thank you, Maria, for your question. We'd love to hear your feedback if you can type it on the chat. And yeah, we have more questions. We will take them in a couple of minutes. Just before that, I would love if you can tell us about the program you are offering, Living in the Flow package, which includes embracing your gifts meditation package, working with the angels course, and also connecting with the mostly unseen realms course as well. And I invite everyone to visit the page yourdivineuniqueness.com/Theresa, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Theresa, THERESA. Or you can click on the special offer button, which is on the live events page, later on the replay page. The link also on YouTube video description, and I will also add it to the chat boxes on Zoom and YouTube. So yeah, Theresa, I would love if you can tell us about this program.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to offer this because this is like the perfect time in history for all of these things to come together in like this unique way. The first thing is the Embracing Your Gifts meditation package. And really these are meditation journeys that are like the angels always inspire me to keep the meditations to around like 25 minutes or less so that people will actually use them. So it's about healing obstacles with the violet ray, journeying to your work pyramid where all of your guides can meet you in the work pyramid and help you to create whatever it is that you want to create in the world. And this is a really beautiful, safe place that you can continuously go, and you can set them up for everything. Like, your job, your family, you can set up work pyramids for everything. And then energetic realignment for the life of your dreams. Because, hey, if we're calling in all of the stuff, we want to be able to receive it. We want our energy to be aligned to receive. And then the second item is the Working with the Angels course that will help you to deepen in your relationship with the angels. And so these are like, which angels are with me? You know, how do I ask for help when the angels, and how do I know when they're answering? You know, how can I see my signs? Like, I get these questions all the time. How do I trust my guidance? These are daily practices you'll learn for calling in angelic guidance, how they'll help you to shift your energy blocks, and how you can build or enrich your relationships already that exist with your angels. And this course it's 3 parts. It's videos and it's pre-recorded, and it is phenomenal. Like I still get emails like every day from people who are just really excited about the experiences they're having with their angels. And then the last part of the package is the Connecting with the Mostly Unseen Realms audio workshop and workbooks. And this is where we're talking about the dragons, connecting with the dragon realm, the process, the meditation to help you connect, to meet your dragon guides, the unicorns, same thing. Who are my unicorn guides? How do I connect with them and how can they assist me? And the fairies and the gnomes, as well as the angels. So in this 4-part course, you'll learn to connect and be able to experience simply by using the audios, be able to experience your personal guides and your connection. And these connections will change over time depending on where you are and what you're facing. So you'll create a safe space to communicate with all of these realms and to really invite them in whatever capacity to work with you in your life. And it's just amazing. It's just amazing. Like the dragons are our protectors, the fairies help us with joy and discovering nature, and the angels are there to kind of help us live our purpose and live in a way that's as ease-filled as possible. And the unicorns are there because they're the purest energy. They're the frequency of love, and they're now willing to be part of our lives. And so this is the package we've put together for you, and I'm really excited. I hope that you'll give it a try and really embrace these beings and your power to connect with them in your life.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you so much, Theresa. Very grateful to you. And like you mentioned, this is the perfect combination because like you mentioned in the beginning of the call, that's in this time we are called to step into our true self, embrace our gifts and share them with the world. And through that process also we need it's a collaboration and co-creation with our guides, angels, and the spiritual realm. And like you mentioned, there is so much support available for us, and it just we were not aware of it, and maybe we were caught in the chaos and not connected more deeply into our hearts. And having guidance and support from you through that program can be very, very helpful. So
Yeah.
thank you so much.
And I
Grateful
love
to
how
you.
these things volley off of each other too, because like now if you're connecting with all of these beings, you can invite them into your work pyramid and start to create the things that you want to create. So it all plays well together. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you so much. And yeah, so everyone, I highly recommend that you sign up for this program. And again, the link is yourdivineuniqueness.com/Theresa, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Theresa, THE, sorry,
THERESA.
yeah. The first time I was having this in front of me, this time I tried to say it with that. So yeah, let's continue with the questions.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. Lucy, can you please unmute yourself?
Hi, Theresa.
Hi,
Hello,
Lucy.
everyone. How are you?
All right.
I have a question.
Mhm.
I was listening to some meditation last week, and all of a sudden, my allergies kicked in, and then I went deaf for 2 hours. I couldn't hear anything, and it was like, what's going on? I wonder if you can give me some insights. I know there were angels around me because I could feel them, but I just wanted to know what was going on at that same time.
So what I'm hearing is that you have an intuitive hit about this. What does your intuition say?
At the time, I just panicked, but
Oh yeah, I would
I
too.
but I think I was not my body, but the spirit was expanding. And I couldn't understand where I was expanding to or what the messages were coming in for whatever reason.
Beautiful. Okay. You are in a state of expansion. You're in a space in your life and your soul's evolution where you are just ready to expand, and you're one of the people who are really holding a lot of energy for this new paradigm to take root. So that feels important to say. I have like all these chills right now. What I'm feeling, so whenever we have a lot of mucus and congestion, there's always clearing happening. And so it felt like because you were in meditation, you were doing this process, it just feels like everything that was ready to clear, kind of like what we were talking about with Sue before. It was like, right, it's just like, let's go, you know? All right, we're out. And so what a beautiful thing, right? But then what also feels interesting to me, it almost feels like so years ago I had someone experienced this like vortex energy that like went into their head and like cleared them and then disappeared. And it almost feels like that. But what I'm feeling is that universe was like, listen to yourself first. Like really calling you to go in and listen within before you listen to anything outside of you. And it feels like there have been so many times in your life where you have doubted the messages that come from within, and that your way forward is from here. Your way forward, everything that you need is here. And then when you're not sure, because you're rooted in yourself, you're rooted in your knowingness, those who are there to help you will make an appearance. Kind of like Sue was saying, I know I was supposed to go to the specialist because like everything flowed. So it just feels like this is your time for that. Does that make sense to you?
It does,
Mhm.
but at the same time, and I know I'm in my heart, I know I'm moving forward with blind faith, and I don't have a problem with that. I guess the physical aspect of me is wanting to know where's the destination.
Yeah. It's like get on the train with all the rest of us who are wondering that. Um, the thing is right now, like the angels have been saying, it's up to humanity, right? Like the world is changing so much every day and so many times a day that we're creating the destination together. So it's not
Okay.
even like individually there's a clear path other than I'm going to listen to my guidance moment to moment and be led to the next right thing and walk in trust and know that I'm going to end up where I'm supposed to be. Um, and you'll find yourself put in these situations where your unique gifts can be you like let me give you an example. Like last month I was talking to somebody who said, I just felt guided to sign up with the Parks Department to volunteer for this day that they're having. And then when I signed up, they asked me to sit at the lighthouse and read poetry. And I've been writing poetry about this lighthouse for 10 years. And I get to sit there and read my poems about the lighthouse, right? All she did was follow the nudging to sign up. And all of a sudden, the poetry that she's been writing to share with the world is going to be shared. And so, like, it's just those little things that seem so small that lead us to where we can best serve with our gifts. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it does. It
Yeah.
does. Is there any special angel I should be calling on for
There's
this?
two. I feel two for I feel Archangel Ariel for you. I feel fierce love for you, like the mama lioness energy who like you're love, but then you mess with her cubs and like she's coming for you, right? That okay? So I feel her. You're definitely on Ariel's lineage. And I also feel at this moment in time, Archangel Gabriel, the Archangel of
Okay,
communication, stepping
yeah,
forward,
okay,
inviting you into deeper communication with yourself and then
okay,
more clear communication with the world around you. Does that make
okay.
sense?
Yes,
Yeah.
I thought so. He popped into mind last week when I couldn't hear.
Uh-huh.
So yes, thank
Right.
you for confirmation. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you, and
you.
thank you for your heart and how you're showing up. You're such a beautiful soul.
Thank you.
Mm,
God
Thank you,
bless.
Lucy. Beautiful. Thank you very much, Theresa,
Thank you.
for the guidance and the love. Let's see, we have a question from Sensei on YouTube. Amazing guidance. How can I access my subconscious to release what's hidden from me? In deepest gratitude.
Oh wow. This is like the perfect question for every person from the dawn of time on. So what I'm feeling for you specifically and for a lot of us right now is really just the invitation before you go to sleep to invite your subconscious to give you any information during your dream time that you might need or that it may need to release. So our bodies our bodies like love us so much, right? That they hold on to all the things that we can't process and they get kind of stuffed down and especially into our fat cells. Like our fat cells are like our closet. We get all of the stuff we can't process gets stuffed. And so what starts to happen when we do something like a cleanse or we lose weight or we start shifting the way our body is, the fat cells ring out and those things release, right? And so it feels like you've been doing a lot of mental kind of cleansing, let's say. You've been doing a lot of mental cleansing. And so some of those things are being wrung out of your subconscious and are ready to come up and out. And so the invitation is the important thing. And they keep showing me right before you go to sleep. And what I would do if I were you is call on my guardian angels to be present with me through dream time to help me process and release. And also I'm feeling Archangel Gabriel for you. I feel very much that the processing you're doing, releasing your subconscious, has to do with you communicating more differently and in a new way with the world, and also opening your creativity. It almost feels like there have been pieces of you that have been blocked off because of your subconscious programming, and that these clearings are going to have those pieces open up so Gabriel can support you as you clear to fill with new programming. So let us know if that makes sense and resonates for you, please.
Yes, Sensei, we would love to hear feedback. You can type it on the chat. And yeah, thank you, Theresa.
Thank
We
you.
have a question from Annette on Zoom. My question might be odd, but I'd like to know if my mom's spirit moved from me when she died 8 years ago. She keeps coming to me in my dreams.
Beautiful. I mean, I'm assuming I feel that they're good dreams. So that's amazing. I definitely feel that your mom's spirit has moved on. I definitely feel your mom wanting to be present with you. This is interesting because I feel your mom wanting to be present with you in response to you kind of reaching out to her. It's almost like that thought, like, oh, if only my mom were here, or mom would know what to do. And like she's responding to that energy. So it's not that she didn't leave you. It's not that she hasn't moved on. It's that she is now capable of being of service in a different way. And it also feels like there are pieces of you. So I definitely feel your mom in your dreams as your mom sometimes, but I also feel that there are pieces of you that are speaking to you that you would be more comfortable hearing through the voice of your mother. I'm hoping that makes sense. You said your question was weird. I feel like the answer is weird. It's almost like, I can hear this from inside of me, but it'd be better if it came from my mom. And so just so you know, you're not like holding her right here. She's free. But she is coming in response to being able to assist you with some of the things that your heart has been asking for, or that you've been moving through. So let us know if that makes sense to you, Annette. Um, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can type it on the chat, Annette. And yeah, thank you very much, Theresa, for your answer. And yeah, in the meantime, we take another question from Diane. Can you please unmute yourself?
Okay, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, Diane.
Hey, how are you doing? I miss you.
Aw, big hug.
Big hug back. I have had severe, I have health issues. I don't know if you remember, but the lymphoma and the lymph node congestion. And I just got over like several months of severe allergies. And that reminded me of Lucy, what she had to say, to the point where it affected my left eye. I had a pink eye from the allergies and ended up seeing ophthalmology and my ENT. So it took some Western medicine stuff to fix me up, probably because I let it go too long. But in any event, what I wanted to let you know was that I am doing some energy healing to try to deal with the lymphoma.
Mm.
And I was just wondering, is that the path I should be taking? I feel like I'm having some success, but I just need a little bit of guidance from you and my angels and just let me know that, okay, this is the way to continue, if it
Beautiful.
is.
It's so good to hear. Like, and did you hear what you just said? That this is the way to continue. And then you stopped yourself and you said, if it is. So you're already in the knowing that this is for you, right? This is like you're following your guidance, you're following your body's ask. And so I just want to celebrate you for that because, it's that internal guidance that always tells us what is best for us. And so there's a lot of things kind of wrapped up here. There's what I love, and everyone is having issues today, is having them on the left side, right? As we move into
Mm,
this love-based paradigm with more feminine energy, with stuff we can't bring with us and has to clear through our systems, right? So are we seeing the patterns here? It's
yeah.
it's really beautiful because when we're moving through this on our own, it feels like we're moving through it on our own. But when we start to hear a group of like-hearted people moving through similar things, then we see, oh, this is more universal. This isn't just me, right? So I just want to celebrate that too, because those connections are key. Remembering that we're all connected without knowing we're all connected. And I see this all the time when people book themselves on my calendar for like readings. There's always a thread of connection that's like the most random thing that everybody's talking about that day. And it's really beautiful. They didn't know each other, but they felt each other, right? So, um, so what I want to say too is congestion clearing. And we talked about assist, we're talking about the lymph, and we're talking about congestion. These are all symptoms of the same thing in the body. Also allergies. It's all excess kapha. In Ayurveda, we talk about kapha, which is the energy of earth and water together. And so that density, it creates a more dense energy. So our bodies are releasing the density. They're releasing the things that are kind of weighing us down. Oh, I'm sorry. That was my crystal that I just hit. The things that are weighing us down that we're ready to let go of. And so how beautiful is that, and also, Western medicine is there to serve us, just as any other medicine, right? So when we use it, because our body is asking for it, because our body needs it, there's nothing wrong with that. It is a tool, just like any other tool, and it has its place and it is important. So I just want to say that too, like don't take it as defeat if you need to use Western medicine. It is there for us to serve us. And so, that's also a powerful thing. So all of that to say, congratulations on the clearing. You're doing a wonderful job. This community is doing a wonderful job. And you're not just moving through it yourself, you're moving through it for the world. And it just feels like there's so much more you're ready and willing to embrace in terms of living in flow, living in the moment, living in the present. And your body was just releasing the old ways of being, the old things that no longer serve, the programming that we came up with about hustle instead of flow. And again, just pay attention to what's going on in your left side because it's like that's the feminine energy we're releasing, that which prevents us from being in flow. How is this feeling to you, Diane?
It, 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 it feels good. I'm glad that you've also like I feel a special bond to Raphael and also Mikhail. I've always felt like he's been around to protect me. So I appreciate your input. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Keep doing what you're doing. It all feels like it's serving you in the highest way possible. Like your energy feels so much lighter. And you know,
Mm.
despite everything you've been going through. So good for you. I'm so proud of you.
Well, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you, Diane, and thank you, Theresa, for the guidance. And we have a feedback from Annette. She wrote, "Yes, very true. Thank you for the clarity and the peace."
Peace. I love that word.
And also we have a feedback from Sensei on YouTube. Absolutely. I know I do a lot of work in the astral realms and can be prophetic too. Gabriel would resonate, as I know. I'm here to help the collective see from a brand new perspective in some way.
There you go.
Namaste to both of you.
See? And this is the beautiful thing is everyone's already hearing their internal guidance and just being validated in that. And so I am so proud of everyone here for listening to their guidance and really being in tune with it.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you very much. So thank you, Theresa, for the guidance and support you gave to our audience, to our live callers, and everything you shared today. It was very, very inspiring, very timely. We needed those messages to hear them today. So so grateful that you joined us, and also thank you for the program that we are offering to our audience.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, and it's important just for us right now to remember that like our joy is our internal GPS. Like what leads you to joy and do more of that because while you're experiencing joy, you're radiating it to the world, even those who can't access it right now. So I feel so blessed to be here with you. Thank you, Mosef, for having me.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you very much. And also everyone, thank you very much for being here today with us. Thank you for your presence, sharing with us your energies. Thank you for those who asked the questions, for the comments. And yeah, again, you can, I invite you to sign up for the program, Living in the Flow, that Theresa is offering to us on the page, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Theresa, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Theresa, THERESA. Or you can click on the special offer button, which is on the live events page, later on the replay page. The link also on YouTube video description and the chat boxes on Zoom and YouTube. And yeah, so with that, I'm sending you so much love, and then we see you on the next call. Bye for now.